it's kind of been my thought process all along. And again, Shedeur Sanders has operated since arriving in Cleveland with such maturity and such class, kind of just talking about whenever he were to receive an opportunity, he wanted to go out there and seize it and make things interesting. And boy, isn't that what we've got on our hands here now? Like, we've got a situation that seemed like we were ready to, clap our hands together and announce a starting quarterback for week one. And I still think that one of the veteran QBs is going to be the way to go and the responsible thing to do. But Shedeur went out there Friday and made this thing interesting, just like I told everybody. And if he outplays Dillon Gabriel on Saturday against the Philadelphia Eagles, you might have to find a different word other than interesting, because things are going to get downright crazy.
I feel better about my own evaluation after speaking with Lance there, because just because I think I see something doesn't mean that from a coaching perspective that's really what's going on. But I do feel like that Shedeur has given the Browns something to think about.
Yeah.
I think he's applied pressure now to Dillon Gabriel to go out and do the same thing in a preseason game and demonstrate the skill set that Shedeur put on display Friday night. And again, it wasn't all perfect. I mean, as Coach Riz, I wasn't crazy about a couple of the scramble plays, one of those on the 4th and 2, or flipping the back to the line of scrimmage, and you never want to do that. And he does have some bad habits from his time in college, including at Colorado, that he's got to clean up. But overall, it was a pretty strong, solid debut for Shedeur. Now, that doesn't mean he's ready to start week one against the Cincinnati Bengals, not by any stretch of the imagination. He's not a polished or finished product at all. He's got a little ways to go. But for not getting a lot of camp reps, not getting a lot of opportunities, I thought he acquitted himself well. And it's okay to say that while also balancing with he's got work to do. He's got things to clean up. Kevin Stefanski on Zoom yesterday, we talked to him. He mentioned that, there are some things that Shedeur's going to have to clean up, and we're going to work with him on. But I come away with a positive feeling that the organization's handling him the right way. They might not be on the same timeline as I would like them to be, but I like how they're handling him. I wish they would dial back the Dillon Gabriel stuff a little bit. Okay. And let's just start getting ready for a football season here because Dillon just hasn't shown me anything in practice.
It puts Gabriel on notice. To me as well, it puts Kenny Pickett on notice. And I know that's maybe a bit unfair because we haven't been able to see Pickett in a good number of practices and now preseason games because of this hamstring injury that's looming and seemingly lingering for him. But Kenny, you got to get on the field, because if Shedeur continues to perform well, and if Gabriel, when he gets his opportunity, goes out there and doesn't play well, this, in my mind, and I understand, I have a simple mind. That's one of my knocks in life. And many of people and many of educators have told me that during my day.
I would like the record to reflect that he said that, not me. I just want to be very clear about that.
This is a scenario to me, though, that I've said from the jump should be pretty simple. And to me, as it's starting to play out, it's only becoming more and more simple. And that's that Joe Flacco should start this season for the Browns, because he's the quarterback that took you on the magic carpet ride, and you saw him be able to quarterback Stefanski's offense to the utmost degree in 2023. And it should be Shedeur Sanders sitting right there behind him. And at some point in the season, Joe Flacco hands the keys to the car to Shedeur Sanders, because that's the guy in this room that has a chance of becoming a franchise quarterback. So Kenny Pickett's got to get his act together and get on the field at some point, because to me, this situation is in fact becoming that much more clear that it should be all about Joe Flacco starting this thing out and Shedeur Sanders finishing the season out to see if he could give the Browns that emphatic yes that they're looking for to prohibit them from drafting a QB in 2026.
Who sang Magic Carpet Ride?
Me.
No, who sang it?
Who sang?
Yeah, the song Magic Carpet Ride.
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
I was thinking more of the
Steppenwolf.
Yeah, I would have never got that in a million guesses. I was thinking more.
Well, you keep saying magic carpet ride, and that just like popped in my head.
I think of it more
For
like
all
Aladdin.
the grief you give me about my
think
music,
of it like Aladdin,
it
like Joe Flacco physically sitting on a magic carpet and dragging the Browns to the playoffs, because that's what that season was. We thought that it was a lost, dead season when Deshaun went down. DTR got his bell rung against the Denver Broncos, and they pulled Joe Flacco off his couch, and he was able to get in there and ball out. I think of it like Aladdin with Joe Flacco as the genie at the front of the carpet and the rest of the Browns behind him.
He's the genie in the bottle.
Do. Yeah.
That's another reference. Come on. Dude, I'm teeing it up for you here, and you're just not playing along. You know genie in a bottle, right?
Well, I get that. Like it's a, what are those things called? I used to have one, a lava lamp, and you rub it and a genie comes out and gives you, like, I get that whole thing, but I know that there's a song called Genie in the Bottle too. Don't ask me who sings that. I don't know.
Christina Aguilera.
I've heard it.
Wow. All right, I got you twice in one segment. Steppenwolf and Christina Aguilera.
That's fine. Bridges is gonna hit you with like some sort of
movie.
Bridges. We need a Gen Z song coming out of the break. And I can tell Daryl, you don't know this.
216-474-0092. Todd's been hanging on patiently. Good afternoon, Todd. You're next up on the fan.
Daryl, Nick, I got a better one for you. Synchronicity by the Police. You don't have synchronicity yet. You do not have synchronicity yet. Everybody calm down. He beat the team. They beat the worst defense in the league Friday night. That's
and their backups, by the way. Let's keep that.
And the backups. And as a matter of fact, when you consider they played the backups of the worst team in the league last year, I'm not comfortable with the limited amount of points that they scored. Okay, so I saw Joe Flacco play for the Colts last year. I saw that. I think y'all saw it too.
Yep.
Didn't you? Are you still feeling like, okay, that's the guy to take us through the first few games? I'm not.
Well, and thanks for the call, Todd. Look, I have been consistent in this. I felt it should be Joe Flacco week one, no matter what. Nothing I have seen or observed or felt is changing me off that take. I believe it's going to be Joe Flacco week one, barring, again, circumstances changing here in the next 3-4 weeks. Man, September 7th feels like a long time away.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, you look at what Flacco did in 2023 and what he did last year with the Colts, it's pretty similar. You know, he's the same quarterback. And that's what I've been trying to preach to people, is that he ain't going to change now. How many years has he been in the league? Hello. This is a dude that has played 17 years of NFL football. He's not going to change now. In 2023, he threw 13 touchdowns for your Browns and 8 interceptions. And we remember the 2 interceptions in the postseason that sealed the fate for that Brown season. Last year in Indy, he threw for 1,700 yards, 100 passing yards more, 12 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. So the numbers are about the same. He's going to throw a lot of touchdowns. He's going to throw some picks. He's going to have moments that save you games, and he's going to have moments that lose you games. That's the calling card on Joe Flacco in his age 40 season.
But you're using him as the bridge to get you to one of these kids, whether it's Pickett, whether it's Sanders, whether it's Gabriel. Like, you're going to go with him early in the season because of your schedule being what it is, the gauntlet that it is, the first 6-7 weeks. You're going to use him to get through those games, assess where you're at. Okay, there are folks that think they're not going to win a game. They're going to start 0-6, 0-7. I disagree. I think they're going to win a game or two. Maybe. I don't know if they can threaten being around 500 through 6 games, be 3-3, but I think 2-4 is doable for them in those first 6. I'm not going to go full doom and gloom. And a lot of it's because of the defense. It's because I do believe there is some talent offensively, because you got Jerry Jeudy, you got David Njoku. I'm a big Harold Fannin Jr. fan. I think that they're going to find a way to get something out of Jerome Ford in this running game. But at some point, they are going to have an honest conversation with themselves about the direction of the season whether that's right before the bye week, whether that's after that bye week, Nick, at some point they're going to have to do a reassessment.
Right.
And I think that goes back to comments that Jimmy Haslam made when we spoke with him and D. Haslam in their regular training camp availability. And Jimmy made the comment, and I'm paraphrasing, so if I get the exact quote wrong, I apologize. I'm paraphrasing here, but he basically said, hey, Kevin knows we got to see rookie quarterbacks this year at some point. Like, Kevin knows that is an objective that or a box, I should say, that we need to check. We've got to see these kids on the field. Obviously, Dillon Gabriel's going to start a game this year for the Cleveland Browns, okay? Whether I think he's ready to do it or not is completely immaterial. We're going to see Dillon Gabriel start a game for the Cleveland Browns, or 2 or 3 or 4. For me, the question is going to be, will we also see Shedeur Sanders at some point? And will he get multiple games? That I don't know. But I am convinced, based on, again, rep distribution, that I'm seeing in these practices where Dillon's getting all these first-team reps. Yeah, they're getting that dude ready to play. We're going to see him, whether I want to see it or not.
People are freaking out on you. What's wrong with Daryl? You're not spontaneously combusting, whining about this team. Someone is complimenting the team. You must be sick. That's from Louis on X.
Well, they didn't give me anything to spontaneously combust about.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if Friday was fun, you guys finally had a little bit of fun.
I did zero spontaneously combusting during the 2020 season, or a little bit during the 2023 season, just because like 5 quarterbacks was a bridge too far for me.
I did spontaneously combust a few times on Friday. The tight end around. We checked that off our bingo card in week 1 of the preseason.
It worked.
Not really. It made it back to the line of scrimmage. You call that working?
The jet sweep for a touchdown?
Oh, the jet sweep. I'm talking about the tight end reverse that they ran early in the game.
Wow. You know, Kev likes that particular play.
He does. Take that play.
It's like I used to say,
rip it up and throw it in the garbage.
It's like I used to say anytime the Browns would try and run a screen or defend a screen. Like, ooh, the Browns actually stopped the screen. Or, oh, my goodness gracious, stop the presses. The Browns successfully ran a screen pass successfully for the first time in years.
Also, I'm pretty sure Hopkins missed the first extra point. And Chris Rose said, unfortunately, the field goal is no good. And the refs on the field are saying that it's good. I'm thinking that it's no good as well because it looked like it missed the upright. But the officials on the field are saying touchdown.
Hey, Rich Karlis still missed that field goal at Cleveland Stadium.
Put the shoe on, Rich. It was no good either way. And then Hopkins did ultimately end up missing an extra point. So the kicking thing is going to come around again at some point as well.
Are we going to have to deal with this year again? Hopkins?
I mean, I kind of forgot, Daryl.
They gave him a contract extension,
yeah,
too.
I forgot how bad he was last year because we got so lost in the quarterback mayhem of how bad Deshaun was.
Everything was bad last year. Like, they did nothing well last year other than Myles Garrett was Myles Garrett. He was a machine.
Like, dude, he was 18. Like, any other kicker. Had he not had this contract extension, he would have been cut mid-season. He was 18 of 27. Find me my kicker. I might have a quarterback here with Shedeur Sanders. I'll give that a maybe. The finger is on the pulse of it.
Hey, look, Phil Dawson isn't walking through that door anytime soon.
But find me my kicker. 18 of 27 last year, and I'm of the belief that he missed 2 kicks in that preseason game. I know they said the one was good, but golly. What's Cade York up to these days?
I'm good.
That's my guy.
I'll watch Dustin Hopkins this year, at least for a few weeks.
Yeah, you might have to because they gave him that contract.
I'm impressed that you've not gone off the deep end. So our buddy Ross Tucker, you hear him on The Fan on all of our shows. Works for Western Wine. He works for just a ton of media outlets. He's
I haven't gone off the
folks.
deep end yet. I'm teetering.
Okay. So he put out this, go to his X account, Ross Tucker NFL. He put out like the most brilliant description of preseason football ever. He put out this graphic of his preseason evaluation guide. a player you like does well is, in quotes, I told you he's awesome. So that's you today with Shedeur.
Yep.
Right? Okay. Player you don't like that does well. Preseason doesn't matter. Look who's playing against.
Yeah.
Right? Player you like who does poorly. Preseason doesn't matter. Look who he's playing with. And then player you don't like does poorly. I told you he sucks. So I think number one is you, right? Player you like, Shedeur Sanders does well. I told you he's awesome. And then it'll be me next Saturday if Dillon Gabriel does not play well. It's going to be, I told you he sucks. Like that, like Ross Tucker absolutely crushed this. Like spot on.
Yeah.
Standing ovation, Ross Tucker. Creative and also very accurate.
It is. And I think for Browns fans, though, the difference, though, of Shedeur being a player that we all liked is that now you've got everybody wants to see more of it. Like, I know Mary Kay Cabot had said on her podcast after she released a column today explaining why Shedeur won't be the week one starter, despite the fact that he played really well in the preseason game. She said in her podcast, listen, like, if Shedeur Sanders happens to be the guy that bucks the trend and puts the end to 40+ starting QBs in Cleveland, wouldn't that be a good bit of fun, right? Like, this is a guy that has Hall of Fame DNA. He's got the charisma. He's got the character to back it up. And now that he did play well on an NFL field, it leaves everybody wanting more of Shedeur Sanders. And really, like, my big takeaway after seeing what I saw on Friday, rewatching some bits of it Saturday, and now talking with you, Daryl, about it for 3 hours so far here on Sunday, all Shedeur Sanders, it's that everybody wants to see more of this kid. Whether you like him or you don't, he gave you a reason to tune in, and he made this quarterback competition interesting because he put the thought in the back of Browns fans' minds everywhere. Maybe we found something here with this guy. Maybe we did stumble into found money in the 5th round of the NFL draft. And when I look at the rest of my QBs, there's not much else here. There's just not. You've got a journeyman QB at this point in Joe Flacco, another journeyman backup QB at this point in Kenny Pickett, Dillon Gabriel, who's 5'11" and is having the worst training camp that you said you've arguably ever seen in your life, and a dude that we all thought was going to be at worst a 2nd round pick who fell into your lap in the 5th round, and he went out there and balled out. Everybody wants to see more of Shedeur Sanders is the fun thing about where we sit right now.
Yeah. And look, the national media is eating it up. We're eating it up because of his popularity. I mean, that doesn't hurt. It certainly doesn't help him as far as the Browns go because their calculus, their evaluation does not incorporate popularity, right?
Right.
Now,
Instagram followers aren't helping him out at practice.
Well, yeah, exactly, right? I mean, now, they certainly aren't going to they're not going to be all that upset about the social media engagement they receive by posting Shedeur's social content. They're enjoying the sale of number 12 Browns jerseys in the team store right now.